Hi everybody, it's Sandi Clarkson for My Creative Scrapbook, sharing a process video using the June limited edition kit. And for today, I'm going to be scrapbooking this cute little photo of this little girl picking some strawberries. And I do need to mat that and trim it up yet. But I was choosing my papers and embellishments and kind of getting some idea of where this layout was going to go. And I'd set aside this pink stripe that's kind of a two-tone pink stripe. I really do like that. And paper is called Sweet Pea. And I want to pair it with this, with part of this paper from the Foxglove paper. And I want to use about 6 inches of each. And so I'll probably cut this right around here and trim off about 1 inch of that. But those are going to be my two papers, and I think I'll put them side by side. And then underneath, I'm just going to use some ephemera from the ephemera pack, you know, including the shed and that little clock or wither feature here. And then along the side, I thought I could also use this window frame because I haven't used that yet. And then a little picture and the birdhouse. I'm going to try tucking those in. And I think they're kind of the same in terms of distress. And so I could put them together. And I think if I put the white doily underneath there, that they'll pop a little better. Otherwise, they're going to get lost in the pattern of the paper. And then over here, I wanted to use this piece of ephemera, which I've used in, I think, my last layout, a similar piece. Just love this, you know, creamy background with the hot pink cone flowers and a little bit of like faux washi tape, you know, adhering the little ticketed item. So I'm going to let that kind of pop out and so I can see some of it. And then I really like pink and green together, so I thought I've been saving this little green chair to kind of use over here. And then I think that I'll put the little rain boots or the wellies right there in the chair. And then there were, in the laser cuts, there were a couple of little bags of strawberries. And so I thought, you know, I was undecided about which size, and I think I'm actually going to use both of them and kind of cluster them together there. And then from the ephemera pack, there was this little piece that says fresh picked, and that's going to be my title. So I'm going to put that around right there. And then for florals, I think I'm going to use these two pink florals from 49 in Market, and then the white buds are also from there. But I thought the white buds might kind of bring in the fact that the strawberries have some white blossoms in there. And there were a couple of banner type, you know, flag type pieces of ephemera that I haven't used up yet. So I thought originally I was going to use one of them as a title because it says Chasing Sunlight and the other one says Treasure Found. But I think I'm just going to tuck them in and use them as banners. And then I'm going to pull in another pink floral. This one is from the Little Birdie packet. And then as far as using any distressing or stenciling, I haven't decided yet. But if I do, it'll probably be very close to the focal area and not, you know, like off to the side somewhere. And I'm not sure if that would be my super heavy gesso again or if I go with the ink. But I'm going to wait and see about that. And then there's a few other questions, you know, that I have about it. But I think I just need to go ahead and trim up my photo, get that mounted, and get my papers ready. And then we'll be able to go. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this for a moment, turn off the microphone, and we'll just get going with the process. Okay, so I already have my two papers cut in half and adhered to a piece of white cardstock that is really cheap and but gave me a base so things would be, you know, 12 by 12. And here I am just distressing all of my ephemera and laser cut pieces with some vintage photo, which, I already had on my desk, and just getting all of that ready because I pretty much know where everything's going to go at this point. We've already talked about most of that, I think. But I also have matted my photo with some of the pink striped paper, and I put some corrugated cardboard behind it to elevate it. And there I am playing around with my embellishments that are going to go behind. I know that I want that right one there, and I get that positioned. And then I'm kind of playing around with where to get those other elements and add them to the garden shed. And then I want to go ahead and apply the window. I put adhesive right down the center of it, and that way everything's kind of ready when I'm ready to apply the photo to all that background. And then I'm auditioning again the picture and the little birdhouse to go on the left, and I go ahead and adhere my white doily so those items will pop. And then I'm ready to adhere my photo, but I bring out my T-square to make sure that it's aligned, and then I check it vertically as well. And then I go ahead and I'm going to adhere the little green chair and kind of ground it with some distress ink, and then audition those pieces again. And I do add a little corrugated cardboard underneath that birdhouse to elevate it just a little bit. And then I bring over some other things that I'm thinking about trying, but I'm using some foam tape on the little wellies there and placing them in the chair. And then on the strawberries, I again use some foam tape because I already have it on the desk, and add that to those little strawberry bundles. And then I just use some of my Barely Precision glue, which is very much like the art glitter glue that I also like. And then I'm positioning my flowers and, making sure one last time that's where I want everything to go. And so then I take my two banners and glue them together, and I kind of bend them up so they look a little bit more organic. And then I place the flowers all together right there and tuck in the stem of that little rosebud bundle. And then try putting my flower, I'm trying to put that underneath the photo a little bit if it will go. And it does because I've elevated the photo on a little bit of corrugated cardboard. Then I bring over a few more items, especially word phrases and butterflies and bees, because I know I want to add some butterflies and bees. And I decided to use the blue ones to bring out the blue in the little girl's dress. And then I'm looking at all those different word phrases that I have. And one of them makes the cut and goes on the photograph itself. And then the other one I tuck in amongst those pink flowers down on the lower left. And I want to use that more vivid pink butterfly, but it takes me some time to figure out exactly where I want it. I love all the little bumblebees, and I've adhered most of them to the background paper, but near the flowers. But I think I do add one to the florals over on the left. It's fun to try to decide where there's going to go, and I just really like the bumblebees, not in real life, except for what they do, but I do think they make a nice accent on your layouts. So I'm nearly finished. I do, at the end, splatter some watered down white acrylic paint to kind of blend everything together and make it look a little more shabby. So coming up is photos of my finished layout and close-ups. There's information below in the description box about how to order a kit and how to become a Kit Club subscriber. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of my content in your feed, and also that helps with the algorithm so that other scrapbookers can see it as well. Thanks for coming by. Bye-bye.